Okay, hello, good afternoon. Okay, I'm audible. Yes, I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, we'll start. Okay, so today we are going to start with a new unit. It is unit number 3, Advanced Encryption Standards. So in a last unit, that is in a unit number 2, we can study the concept of various block ciphers. And in a block cipher, we can study the DES algorithm. That is a data encryption standard. Okay, so now we have to study the next version of algorithms, that is a enhanced encryption standards. So what is a data encryption standards and what is a advanced encryption standards? Okay, so if there is a data encryption standard, so why we can require the advanced encryption standard? Okay, so first we need to understood the importance of this particular unit. So when we deal with the data encryption standards, so we can use the data encryption standards for the security purposes. So by using the various keys, so we also convert our the plain text information into the ciphertext information. Okay, so when we deal with a DS algorithm, so might be a there is a possibility to attack. So if we go through the DES algorithm, so it can use the higher size key. Due to the higher size key, the attack is not possible in a DES, but we can say that there might be a theoretical attack can be happened in a DES algorithm. So in order to avoid that thing, we can use the advanced encryption standards. Okay, so basically these algorithms or these standards are also used for the security purposes. So when we require the higher security, so along with the DS algorithm, also we can use the advanced encryption standards. Okay, so in this unit we have to understood the what is the AES algorithm, what is the structure of AES algorithm, or how it can be works. So we have to study the detail algorithm. Okay, so what is the encryption standard, how it can be designed, how it can be work, and where basically where it can be used. Okay. Okay, so the concept behind to study this particular unit is that, so if we have to secure our information more precisely, or if we have to protect our data, then we can use the various algorithms. So we can use the various higher version algorithms also. So if the DS algorithm is fail, so in the replacement of DS is a AES algorithm. So that is a advanced encryption standard. So we have to study the various objectives, various basic concepts, and various the structures of the AES algorithm. So when we studied with a DS algorithm, so the last point of DS algorithm is that, so in DS algorithm we can studied the various multiple encryptions, okay, as well as a simplified DES. Okay, so when we use the data encryption standards, so we can use the key size might be up 56 size, Okay, so if we have to use more size key, then we can use the multiple encryptions. Okay, so basically 5 we can use the multiple encryptions. So in a multiple encryptions we can use the higher size key. If the single ds consists of the 64-bit key, so if we use the two keys at a one time, then it should be called as a multiple encryptions. So by using the key K1 and K2, we can secure our information. So the two keys are used in a one single algorithm. So that is called as a multiple encryptions. So five, we can use the multiple encryptions because when we study the DES algorithm, so the practically it is not possible to hack the DES algorithm, but theoretically we can say that the attack is possible into the DS algorithm. So the replacement of DS algorithm is a multiple encryptions. Okay, so after multiple encryptions, we have to study the advanced encryption standards, that is AES. So before starting with the AES, we have to study the basics of DES as well as multiple encryptions. Okay, so the basically the AES is the algorithm. So it is alternative to the DES. So in the place, yeah, it is a replacement of DS algorithm. So when the DS algorithm is fails, so instead of the DS algorithm, we can use the AES algorithm. Okay, so in this case, so we can say that it is a prior to this algorithm was the multiple encryption with DES algorithm. Okay, so before starting with the AES algorithm, we have to study the some basic concept of DES algorithm. Okay, so that is called as a multiple encryptions with a DES. So in a multiple encryption of DES, so the first thing is double DES. Okay, so basically phi it can called as a double DES because in this case instead of a one key we can use the two keys at a time. So there are the two keys, that's why it can called as a double DES. Okay, so it can be used for the encryption purpose as well as decryption purpose. So if we use the two keys for encryption, so similarly we can use the two keys for the decryption. Okay, so how we can convert our plain text information into the ciphertext. So for the encryption, so along with our plain text we can apply the key K1. Okay, so the first time encryption will perform here. After that we can apply the key K2 and again we can perform the encryption operation. Okay, so on a single plain text we can perform the two times encryption operation. That's why it can called as a double DES. So by using these two keys we can convert our the plain text into the ciphertext. So on other side, again we have to recover our plain text from the ciphertext. So again we have to perform the decryption. So in order to perform the decryption, so we can use the key K2 and K1. Okay, so it is inverse method. So we have to perform the decryption. So for decryption we can use the same keys as a key K2 and key K1. So based on these two keys we can convert the ciphertext into the plain text. So after performing the decryption we'll get our original plain text. Okay, so have you understood the basic concept of double DES? Yes, yes or no? Yes, I am audible. Yes, have you understood the concept of double DES? Yes or no? Yes, can anyone describe the concept of double DES? एक्सप्लेन करो तेगा कौन? Have you understood it? Yes, if yes, we'll go for next point. Yes, can we go for next point? Okay, we'll move to the next point. Okay, so how we can perform the double encryption? So simply we can use the two keys. So by using the two key, so first we can perform the encryption by using the key K1 on the plain text. So here we can represent the formula to convert the plain text into the ciphertext. So that is the C is equal to E K2 into E K1 into plain text P. So first we have to perform the encryption by using key K1 on the plain text. So after that we can again apply the key K2 and again we can perform the encryption. So two times we have to perform the encryption. So that is called as a double DES. So but when we perform with the double DES, so there might be a attacks also possible. So that attack we can call as a meet in middle attack. Okay, so when this particular attack can be happens, so whenever we can use the multiple ciphertext. Okay, so we can call it as a whenever we use the ciphertext twice, so the attack can be happens. Okay, so if I have to remove certain type of the attacks in a double DES, okay, so instead of the double DES we can prefer the advanced encryption standards. Okay, so basically we also studied in a DES algorithm, we can also study the various case studies in a DES algorithm. So generally, the attack is not happened or not possible in a DS algorithm, but theoretically we can say that in certain various methods, the DS algorithm can be hacked. Okay, so instead of simple DS, we can use the multiple encryptions. So after double DES, the next thing is a triple DES. Okay, so in a triple DES, we can study the two types. One is a triple DES with two keys, and another is a triple DES with three keys. Okay, so here we can explain the concept of triple DS with two keys. So we can use the two key for encryption purpose. So in between two encryptions, we can perform the encryption. So sorry, we can perform the decryption by using the particular key. Okay, so by using the triple DES, so we can also convert our the plain text information into the ciphertext. Okay, so in a triple DES we can also use the two keys as well as the three keys. Okay, so if we use the three keys in a triple DES, so our arrangement of converting the plaintext into the ciphertext is represented by using a one equation. Okay, so that equation is C is equal to ek3 into dk2 into ek1 of a plain text. Okay, so what this equation indicates, so first we have to perform the encryption by using the key k1 on the plain text. Okay, so after that we have to perform the decryption by using the key k2, and once again we have to perform the encryption by using the key k1. Okay, so in the triple ds we can use the three keys of a same size. Okay, so these triple ds can be used in a various internet applications. Okay, so when we handle with, yeah, when we use the internet, so there is also possibility to hack our information. Okay, so the attacker can send various emails. Okay, so by using the internet also there is a possibility of attacks. Okay, so in order to avoid that attack we can use the application of the ds. So the triple ds can be mostly used in a internets. Okay, so it is a simplified structure of triple ds. So first, for encryption purpose, we can perform the first encryption by using the key k1 on a plain text. So after that we can perform the decryption by using key k2, and once again we can perform the encryption by using key k1. So two times we have to perform the encryption, and once we have to perform the decryption. So in this way we can convert the plain text into the ciphertext. And in a decryption we have to first perform the decryption with key k1, then encryption with key k2, and then again decryption with key k1. So by using these triple ds with three keys, we can convert the plain text into the ciphertext as well as the ciphertext into the plain text. Okay. Okay, so up to this, we can cover the some basic things regarding the DS algorithm. So it is a DS with two keys, and it is a triple DS. So now we'll move towards the AES algorithm. Okay, so the AES stands for Advanced Encryption Standards. So five, basically five we can use it. So it is the replacement of DS algorithm. So five we can replace the DS algorithm by AES because the some theoretical attack can be possible in the DS algorithm. Okay, so in order to avoid that thing, instead of DS algorithm we can use the AES algorithm. So in order to design the AES algorithm, so the AES algorithm can use the concept of triple DS. Okay, so if we go with the triple DS, so for the encryption and decryption, it will require the larger time. So the process is too slow for the conversion of plain text into the ciphertext because we can use the three keys at a one time. Okay, so instead of this drawback, we can use the advanced encryption standard. Okay, so from 1997 uh, it can be used in a real time. So first the AES algorithm can be designed in a 1997. So in order to design this AES algorithm there is a team of 15 candidates. Okay, so in June 1998 the team of 15 candidates are works on this particular AES algorithm or the implementation of this particular AES algorithm. So in August 1999, so out of 15 candidates, only 5 were selected to design this particular AES algorithm. Okay, and in October 2000, the Regent Dale was selected as the AES in October 2020. Okay, so from 2001, this algorithm can be used in a real time. So it is the basic, the origin of AES. So when we perform the operations by using the AES algorithm, so there are the certain requirements of the AES algorithm. So if we have to design the AES algorithm, so we have to consider these requirements. Okay, so what is the basic requirement of AES algorithm? So the first requirement is the private key symmetric block cipher. Okay, so in order to design the AES algorithm, we have to use the symmetric block cipher. So here we can use the word as a private key symmetric. Okay, so what is the uh, meaning of this particular line? So when we use the AES algorithm, so we have to use the same size key for encryption as well as for decryption purpose. Okay, so that's why it can called as a symmetric key, and it can also works on the concept of block ciphers. So next is a, so it can be used 128, 192 or 256 bit keys. Okay, so the AES algorithm can also work on a higher keys. So the key might be 128 or 192 or 256. So that much higher size key can be used in the AES. Okay, so the AES can require the such higher size key for the implementation. So in order to design these AES, so we require the stronger and faster than triple DES. Okay, so if we use the certain higher keys, so automatically our algorithm should be more fast as compared to the DES. So we require the various standard operating systems for the DES. Okay, so the AES algorithm, so basic requirement of AES algorithm is that so it can use the C and Java language for the implementation. Okay, so if we have to do the coding of these AES algorithm, so for the coding part or for the design part, we can use the C as well as Java language for the implementation of AES algorithm. So these are the some basic requirements of the AES algorithm. Okay, so first one is a symmetric key, then next is a uh, various keys, that is a 128 or 192 or 256. And in order to implement this AES algorithm, we can use C as well as Java implementation. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So up to this point, we can study the various basic requirements of AES algorithm. Okay. So these are the some basic requirements of the AES algorithm. So it can be used the symmetric keys. So the keys can be 128 or 192 or 256 bit keys. Okay, and the most thing is for implementation of these AES algorithm we can use C as well as Java language. So now the next point is a AES evaluation criteria. Okay, so if we have to evaluate the AES algorithm, so it can be divided into the two types. So one is the initial criteria and the second one is the final criteria. So based on these two criterias, we can evaluate how the DS can be works or how we have to implement this particular AES algorithm. So the initial criteria consist of the three things. One is a security, second one is a cost, and third one is a implementation characteristic. So in a security, so the most important thing is a security. So it is based on the various script analysis. Okay, so if any attacker want to hack this particular algorithm, so we have to provide the security to these AES algorithms. So the security is the initial criteria of the AES algorithm. So next one is a cost. So it is in terms of the computational efficiency. So again, in order to design such AES algorithm, we have to also consider the cost to design the particular algorithm. Okay, and we have to consider the algorithm and implementation characteristics. So these are the some basic criteria for the AES evaluation. And the second type is a final criteria. So it consists of general security, then ease of software and hardware implementation. Next one is a implementation of attacks and flexibility. So if we have to consider these AES algorithm, so we have to provide the various, yeah, we have to consider the various security concepts also. Okay, so how it can be designed by using the various software and hardware things. So for software, we can use the C and Java language. Okay, and along with the software, we have to also consider the hardware requirement for the AES evaluation. So the evaluation of AES is divided into these two criteria. One is the initial criteria and another is the final criteria. Okay, so after this, we have to study how the AES algorithm can be designed. So we can design this particular algorithm. So basically, the AES algorithm is designed by Rijman Demon in Belgium. Okay, so in shortly, it can be called as a Rijendel algorithm. So it can be used the three types of keys. One is a 128, 192, and 256. Okay, so this particular algorithm can process the data in a block size. So for that, we have to study the concept of Feistel cipher as well as block cipher. So it can be used the block of 4 columns of 4 byte. Okay, so this point will be studied in the structure of AES algorithm. Okay, so basically the AES algorithm is designed to prevent, yeah, secure our information from the various attackers. Okay, so the most important things of AES algorithm is the speed and code compactness. Okay, so if we have to run the AES algorithm on a various system, so we have to consider the operating speed of that particular system. Okay, so basically we can use, yeah, we can design the AES algorithm for the security purposes. Okay, so if I have to study the this algorithm, that is a AES algorithm, or it can be called as a Regendel. Okay, so we have to study the four basic concepts in the AES algorithm. Okay, so first one is a byte substitution, second one is a shift rows, third one is a mix columns, and fourth one is a add round key. Okay, so based on these four states we have to design the AES algorithm. Okay, so AES algorithm can also uses the various rounds. So in a DS algorithms we can use 16 rounds. In a simplified DS we can use two rounds. So in a AES algorithms we can use 9 or 11 or 13 rounds. Okay, so we have to study the AES algorithm based on these four states. So first one is a byte substitution, second one is a shift row, third one is a mix column, and fourth one is a add round key. Okay, so based on these four parameters the design of AES can be depend. Okay, so if you have to design the AES algorithm, so we have to study the various states. Okay, so we have to study these states in a detail. So it is a Regendel. So how the this particular algorithm can be work, how we can convert the plain text into the ciphertext. Yeah, again how we can perform the decryption, and we can recover our plain text from the ciphertext. So in order to study this structure we have to study the four important states, that is a byte substitution, shift row, mix column, and add round key. Okay, so this part we'll take in a next lecture. So it's the most important part from the unit number 3. Okay, so how we can perform the encryption and decryption by using these four states. Okay, so in order to study this algorithm, so first we have to study the concept of these four states. So it is a byte substitution, it is a shift rows, it is a mix columns, and it is a add round key. Okay, so this part we'll take in a next lecture. So this is the basic concept regarding the AES. Okay, so if you have any doubt up to this, you can ask here. Any doubts? Okay, so if not, you can put your attendance. So start with roll number 1. So in a sequence, we can put your attendance. Yes, next 11 to 20. So everyone put your numbers. 21 to 30. 45. महेश जाधव 21 to 30 मध्ये आहे का? 31 to 40. Okay. 41 to 50. 51 to 55. and 56 to 62. Okay, so today will stop here. You can let now. So if anyone remained, you can put your number.